What's up, y'all? Straight to the point. Y'all hit that like when you come in here and sub to the channel too. All right. If you're not sub to the channel. I'm talking some hoops right now while the game is going on. Of course, we lost the game. The Sixers lost the game. I'll talk about that in just a minute. I want to talk about the New York Knicks right now. The New York Knicks are not the same team. Last year, they had Tibbs, Coach Tom Thibodeau, and people were complaining about Tom Thibodeau. Well, at least, the media was. I don't think it was the fans so much. I think they were a little concerned. They were a little bit concerned because of the playing time aspect and everything. But Mike Brown has taken over, and listen, I like Mike Brown. Appreciate the like, y'all. I like Mike Brown, but these guys aren't buying in just yet. Now, I know it's just 5 games. We're just 5 games in. Some teams 6. But these guys do not look the same. They lost to a Chicago team. I think they lost 135 to 125. And Chicago was making them look so old, flying up and down. Kev Cook, I see you in the building, man. And I know Kev Cook is happy about his Bulls, man. Salute to the whole Chi-Town and South Side, West Side, all of Chicago, Champaign, all of Illinois. But New York lost that game. I mean, what's it called? Chicago beat New York rather than New York losing the game. I know some people are going to feel differently. But the thing about it is thing we got to realize is that these guys aren't buying in. None of these guys, they don't look motivated to play. They don't look as motivated as they were last year. You say, yeah, those young playing good, but it's early. No, look. Kev Cook. I know a lot of people, they sit up here and they say, okay, yeah, well, it's early. We haven't gotten into the season yet. I don't really see it that way because Kev Cook, what if some of these teams were 0-5? What if somebody, like for us, with the Sixers, we're 4-1. That's a great start. I mean, you got to come in with a bang. Everybody was coming in with a bang with Cleveland, and guess what ended up happening to them? They ended up losing. You understand what I mean? So I want to celebrate every win. Like with the San Antonio, they're off to the best start in franchise history, if I'm not mistaken, at 5-0. So I look at it differently. What if they were 0-5? Then people would be complaining. And it's Halloween night. These motherfuckers are driving really, really crazy. But Mike Brown is starting off very slow. The New York fans are going to get restless. They were supposed to start off and pick up where they left off last year. And like I said, you're talking about a new philosophy. You have the same personnel, but you talk about a new philosophy that everybody got to adapt to. You said 76ers Good. I feel you. Yeah, not well. I'll talk about them right now. Joel Embiid slows us up. I don't know if you looked at the game, Kev, but I'm gonna tell you something. Okay, in that first half, especially, we were discombobulated. Why? We lost that game because one, Nick Nurse wants to sit up here and his rotations. I don't know what was going on. You were doing fine for the first 4 games. You were doing fine. Now we had a little bit of difficulty towards the end of the game. Our problem is the second half, particularly the fourth quarter. And tonight, with having Joel Embiid on the floor, okay, yes, he scored 20. Maxey scored 25. But it was Quentin Grimes, a combination of Quentin Grimes, Maxey, and VJ Edgecombe that were hitting key shots. Joel Embiid does not move. He doesn't move on defense. He slows us up. He disrupts our chemistry now because these guys are on the floor. They played without him, and now they're like, okay, Joel need to get the ball, and he ended up shooting the ball, and he ended up losing the game for us. Now, Quentin Grimes could have got the ball into Joel a little bit earlier. Okay, I will say that. But other than that, Joel Embiid just slows us up, man. And he's going to have to play really less minutes. And I'm at the point now, Kev, where I'm ready to bring Joel Embiid off the bench. He needs to turn it up, and he should be dominant with his side. Well, there's no way for him to do that, Kev, because for one, he's coming off of a knee surgery. He's just getting his groove back and everything, man. Like, if you're expecting him, he's on minutes restriction and he can't play back-to-backs. So, like, you're not going to see the full capability of him for a while. And on top of that, I mean, this guy has got a lot of catching up to do. You got to think about it. He didn't play for a bulk of last season. All that wear and tear on your meniscus and stuff like that, because even though you might have had surgery to repair it, let's not forget they had to go in there and do another procedure on his knee. At this point, I'm more concerned about, okay, Joel Embiid's quality of life, because I do have to give him that, you know what I'm saying? But as far as him playing ball, we were in a good groove without him. We only lost by 1 point. Now we came back and we fought. We got the lead, and then we were toggling with the lead, and then we ended up losing the lead. I like Maxey. They should build. Well, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. But Joel Embiid gets in the way. Don't forget about Edgecombe either. VJ Edgecombe, that's his backcourt mate. He was one of the ones that he hit a very clutch shot that brought us back. It brought us back within one. And he's not afraid to take the shot. He's athletic, attacks the cup. We got a bunch of young athletic guys. Joel Embiid is getting in the way. Now he's interrupting what's his name? Kelly Oubre's flow. Kelly Oubre coming into this game, he was averaging close to 20 points. Then you bring Joel Embiid out there, now he can't get off. Now he's feeling like, well, damn, you out there. He just disrupts everything now that we're trying to do. And Nick Nurse doesn't see it. Nick Nurse needs to be like, look, your ass needs to sit down. And you already know that Joel is going to go up to the front office and try to complain. But they need to tell Joel, look, you're not the same. You're not the same you know, being 100 in comparison to you being 100%. You're not 100% yet. Kev, if you look at this guy and you look at him, he could barely move. All these got Barlow, Edgecombe, Maxey, Oubre, all these young guys that we got on our squad, they can move. Yeah, I mean, he just looks. Everybody's still wondering if he's still hurt. And look, I know he's a big dude. Like a lot of bigger guys, you know what I'm saying? They have their way of moving. You know what I'm saying? Like Shaquille O'Neal, he had his way of moving. Kareem, he had his way of moving. You know what I'm saying? When you're big like that, you have your way of moving. Not all of them are gonna move like super fast. Unlike a guy like Wemby, if you look at Wemby is not stiff. He's very loose. You know what I'm saying? He's real loose. If you looked at Wilt Chamberlain back in the days, he was very loose. Even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was loose. Hakeem Olajuwon in his younger days, those guys were loose. Joel Embiid looks real stiff, man. Do you think that the front office control who plays on the court? Yeah, I mean, especially when they have the money. When we're talking about when you know, you got to realize, Kev, that he signed an extension. Joel Embiid signed an extension and in 24. And so anybody that's sitting up here saying, oh yeah, y'all need to trade Embiid, you need to trade Embiid, they can't do that just yet. You know what I'm saying? They can't start looking into that, unfortunately, until 28, 29. And then also, I must repeat again, though, Kev, too. It's going to depend if anybody wants to take on that contract and take on that headache. You got to look at the health liability, too. But yes, I believe so. The front office, they do play a part. That was a good question, man. That's a damn good point you brought up, man. But he just slows us up, man, and I think he'll be better off just going ahead, coming on the bench. Maxey can do what he wants. You cutting into Maxey, you're disrupting his flow. You know what I'm saying? And Maxey's not a selfish player like that. But Maxey is a leader. And I know Maxey's gonna call that shit out after a while. He's gonna be like, man, we're trying to get in a good groove, but then you bring him back and you inserting him into the lineup, man, all it does, it disrupts what we're trying to do. Our chemistry, because that's one of the things that you. Oh yes, you got to have talent, and of course you got to have rebounding, defense, stuff like that. But the main thing you got to have is chemistry and cohesiveness. Look at the San Antonio Spurs. I'm beginning to wonder. If they honestly need a guy like De'Aaron Fox now. With the way that things are going. And like I said, I like De'Aaron Fox. But do they truly need him there? You know, so and is he gonna come in? Is he gonna disrupt? Now that we're talking about chemistry and cohesiveness and stuff, is he gonna come in and disrupt what Wemby got going, what Vassell got going, what Castle got going over there in San Antonio? Is he gonna disrupt that? And that's what Joel Embiid is doing, man. I didn't want to come on here and cook Joel and cook Nick Nurse, but I have to. I got to call Nick Nurse out. Nick Nurse was doing an excellent coaching job the first 4 games up until tonight when we played Boston. Yeah, he's still hurt, man. A lot of guys are still hurt. A lot of guys are still hurt. I mean, you got Jason Tatum, he's hurt. AD now, he's hurt. Your Chicagoan. You got Kyrie, he's hurt. Now Dylan Brooks is hurt. Kevin Porter Jr. is hurt. Um, Jalen Green is hurt. Of course, LeBron is quote unquote hurt. Jared McCain is hurt. Paul George still got to wait on him. A lot of guys are hurt. Yep, he could be MVP and he could be Defensive Player of the Year. He could do both because he's leading the league in blocks. He's getting like 5 blocks a game, 4.8, five blocks a game, man. Just last year he was averaging 3.5. That's insane. I don't want to hear none of this shit about, oh yeah, he's supposed to average that many blocks, man. Look how tall he is. If it was that easy to get 5 blocks, everybody would be doing it. Everybody would have been getting 5 blocks a game, but they weren't. You know what I'm saying? And Manute Bol and George Mearson, Mark Eaton. I'm talking about all of the really big guys or whatever, But Wemby has just got a knack to play defense. And I like what Wemby said. He said it doesn't matter how many times he gets dunked on. That's what you gotta like. I mean, look, you getting dunked on and crossed up and made look silly and all that other stuff. That's a part of the game, man. Yep, he's from France, home of Tony Parker, home of Boris Diaw, home of Rudy Gobert. Nicolas Batum, if I'm not mistaken. I think Nicolas Batum is from France. I could be wrong. And the Lakers, because what's it called? Luka just set a record just now. He's in the class with Will Chamberlain. LeBron can't accept the fact that the Lakers are actually growing without him. He can't accept the fact that he's a third option now, and the Lakers are moving out. The man can ball, and I think the NBA is in the right place. Absolutely. I mean, the NBA is back on NBC. I like what they're doing. They brought your boy Kev. They brought Jordan back. They brought MJ back, the great MJ back, so everybody could pick his brain. They're not just talking about one person 24/7, 365. You get to know some of these players. Just like the brother Turaw was saying, shout out to Turaw. They talk about everything. They go in depth about different players and stuff like that. And I like stuff like that. Like maybe some guys are entertained by talking about, one player 24/7, 365. They know everything. They know what color socks this guy wears and stuff like that. They talk about him so much. I don't want to know about one particular guy. I want to know about everybody else. Now you're getting to see some of these guys' talent, and they get to flourish. Like last night, you might not think it's interesting, but I like the fact that Ryan Rollins can't. A lot of people don't even know him. He put up 32. last night without Giannis. I think that that's a good thing. Now we got more people watching the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Kev Cook came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Watching the NBA. But he can't accept the fact that he's a third option now. Now that Austin Reeves is starting to come into his own, because everybody act like Austin Reeves wasn't scoring 20. Like, this guy was scoring 20 points last year. Okay, he didn't do that good in the playoffs. It's a learning experience. He has to go through those. He got to go through those trials and tribulations. But he came back even better this season. Now you're seeing it. You know what I'm saying? While LeBron is sitting there throwing a pity party. Look, if I'm LeBron, I'm doing one or two things. I'm either retiring or I'm just going to accept my new role. Lots of players were able to accept their new roles as they got older. You know what I'm saying? David Robinson, he took a step back and moved to a side and let Tim Duncan take over. You know what I'm saying? Alonzo Mourning, he knew he couldn't do what he could do anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because of the situation with his kidneys and stuff like that. um, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. A lot of people don't know that, but Kareem was the main guy at first. He let Magic go ahead and take over. You know what I'm saying? If you need me, hey, I'm here. But this is your squad. What up, Dante? I'll see you in the building, man. You said Spurs look legit. They're balling out without De'Aaron Fox. If Wemby continue to play like this, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins MVP. Everybody feels that way, man. Everybody feels that way. MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. Listen, I just like the fact that he's winning. I like the fact that he's winning, man. I like the fact, look, all the accolades and stuff like that Wemby's going to get or whatever, that's going to come. But the ultimate goal in San Antonio is to win a championship, to win a ring. A lot of people don't know San Antonio, they always they're the type of franchise, they set high expectations. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. I know everybody got this mind frame that, oh, if it's only people in San Antonio that like San Antonio. No, that's not true. You got hardcore Spurs fans that set their expectations high because they've won championships, man. Duncan got 5 rings. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys were a dynasty. Well, some people consider them a dynasty, man. But like I was saying about, LeBron and him accepting, him being a third option, he can't handle that. He can't handle that. And if I'm LeBron, what I'm doing is I'm either retiring. Some people seem to think that he's going to Dallas. Nico Harrison would be so stupid if he does that, because then you're gonna stunt the growth of one Cooper Flag. And I'm pretty sure AD doesn't want the nonsense again. You know what I'm saying? AD is getting back to where he could breathe again. He don't have to deal with the BS and the scrutiny and stuff like that. Like I'm saying, just stay under the radar. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's on y'all 24/7 like that. I mean, yeah, they look at Cooper Flag, they were hyped up about him, but nah, stay under the radar. That's all they need to do. Just stay up under the radar. But he's gonna have to accept being a third option. He's gonna have to accept it, man. And Austin Reeves has the upside. Luca still got an upside, you know. I like the way that DeAndre Ayton the last couple games he's been playing pretty good. Now I went back and I looked. I was incorrect about something. He did get 10 rebounds. Um, he got 10 rebounds the previous game, and he was looking like a monster this game from what I saw. I didn't watch too much of it, but I watched just a little bit of it. But from what I saw, it looks like Aiden is starting to adapt. Man, what's his name threw a nice alley to him. Luca did. So yeah, it's time for him to accept the reality that he's a third option. Then when he gets back, because a lot of people are of the mindset that he's gonna leave. I don't think that that's gonna happen. I think LeBron is gonna come back, but you gotta wonder, is that gonna mess up the chemistry? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, guys won't come out and admit it, but they'll sit back and see, okay, am I really the problem? Is it me? Now, maybe he doesn't want to admit that. He is an egomaniac and stuff. But the one thing that you could say about Kobe is that when he was injured, he got a chance to look at the team to see, okay, am I the problem? What can I do better? You know what I'm saying? You have an opportunity to, just look and survey the floor and saying, okay, what could I do to get better in this aspect, or how can I get this guy involved, or how can I move it out the basketball better? I think me personally, LeBron would play better at this stage of his career if he just came off the ball. You got guys on the floor to do that. I don't think even Lucas should be handling the ball as much as he does. That's one of the things that I felt like Luca needed to do in order to preserve himself. I think that Luca, what he should do is come off the ball too as well. Then okay, like when you got your number one coming up and he's coming past that timeline, okay, then you flash out. You flash out either from the weak side or you flash out from the strong side and go ahead and take over. You'll still be, but everybody knows Luca likes to be in that top of the key area to make his moves. You know what I'm saying? Cypress, what's up, yo? I see you in the building. Make sure y'all go sub to Cypress TV. But Lakers, man, they're looking damn good without LeBron right now, and I think Cypress may be right. He was the one that called it out. He said that the Lakers are gonna be fine. I was like, I don't know, but it's like they're adapting to life without LeBron, and in another case, without Luca. This guy is coming up. This guy is see. You got to wonder what's going to happen when he comes back. You know, and I know guys ain't gonna come out and admit it, but I know that these guys are like, man, we're doing good without him. You know what I'm saying? But we already know how they move. So I don't think he's gonna be able to handle being a third option. I like the way they're playing. Like you got Aiden up there, like it gives them a new look. You got that pick and roll. You have that lob threat in Aiden. getting back to what he was. You know what I'm saying? Somewhat in Phoenix. So that's what I want to see. But to have him coming back and then he's gonna slow up things just like Joel Embiid was doing, slowing up the offense. You know what I'm saying? We already got good chemistry, stuff like that. They don't want to see that no more. They want to see young, fresh talent. Austin Reeves, you're not seeing the growth in him. Y'all looking at Austin Reeves like when Austin Reeves came in here, they thought he was just gonna be another role player, you know, white guy coming in like Kurt Rambis or something like that. Not that's no knock on Kurt Rambis. Kurt Rambis was for his role, he was a tremendous role player. You know what I'm saying? But they thought that he was gonna be that type. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know Austin Reeves was gonna evolve into this. Now, I saw I saw a lot of talent in this guy. Some people said that I was tripping, but you don't know until you give this guy opportunity. Then you started seeing flashes. He would get, maybe 16 there, you know what I'm saying? Maybe get 20 points there, something like that in the beginning. They should move Dr. Connect. No, hell no. Dr. Connect, I know he might be feeling some type of way, but Dr. Connect is another shooter. Nah, you keep Dr. Connect. You keep Dr. Connect. Unless, now I will say this. Okay, if you do that, Cypress, if you move Dr. Connect, I would move his ass to Houston. And you know who I would get? I'll bring Reed Shepherd in there. Let me tell you why I would bring Reed Shepherd, okay? I'll bring Reed Shepherd. Now, you're going to lose your point guard, but the Lakers get somebody to give Luka, because I'm not thinking about LeBron. We got to think about Luka in this situation. You got to think about Austin Reeves. You're getting a guy in Reed Shepherd that could potentially, as he gets better with time, be able to handle the rock, get it to Luka. Reed Shepherd don't mind passing the ball, and Luka doesn't mind shooting the ball. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with what's his name, Austin Reed. So if you are gonna get rid of Dr. Connect, okay, you do it like that, but other than that, I'm keeping Dr. Connect. That's another shooter. You know what I'm saying? I've always liked Dr. Connect, and that's a shame. You like Dr. Connect too, man. So that's the only move that I would make. But other than that, because listen, the Lakers spend so much time, Cypress. They spend so much time trying to get rid of people, bring in new personnel, get rid of people, bring in new personnel, get rid of people, bring in new personnel, bringing in new coaches. You're never going to win a championship if you don't have any cohesiveness, if you don't have any type of chemistry. You're bringing in all these new guys constantly. You're bringing in different personnel and stuff. You never have a chance to really grow with one another. Y'all ain't been through the trenches with one another. San Antonio, the reason why you starting to see them is because those guys, they've been in the trenches in their short period of time. They've been in the trenches. Some of these guys have been there since Wemby's rookie year. You know what I'm saying? Look at OKC. Those guys have been in the trenches with one another. You know what I'm saying? They've won together, they lost together. They went through some tough times, probably got on each other's nerves, you know what I'm saying? Like brothers do, like siblings do. But they band together, you know what I'm saying, when it's time to go to war. But y'all want to get rid of people, bring in this new guy. You got to learn how he play. You got to learn He got to learn a new system. You know what I'm saying? That's just like what going on with New York. New York, you got to learn Mike Brown new system. You talking about two different coaching philosophies. You had a strong defensive minded coach that was hard nosed and like everybody used to say, he ran his players to the ground or whatever. I call it just him just trying to toughen his players up or whatever. But anyway, then you got Mike Brown, who's been in several different systems or whatever. I mean, been in the Lakers system, been in the Cleveland system, you know what I'm saying, with LeBron or the Lust system, and then of course he been with Golden State, and then you also had the Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? So now you going to New York. These guys have adapted to somebody. You have a guy in Jalen Brunson who used to, pretty much having his way. You got a Karl Anthony Towns who was already disgruntled. He probably don't like the way you coach. These guys getting smoked by Chicago. Chicago 5-0 right now. So yeah, but I don't think they should move Dalton Connect. Maybe that's probably just me being biased or whatever, because I happen to like Dalton Connect. I wanted to see Dalton Connect just like listen, if you move anybody, off the Lakers or whatnot, of course, the first thing that comes to mind is LeBron. But check this out. Austin Reeves, what about Austin Reeves in Atlanta? What about Austin Reeves in Atlanta? Atlanta's not going nowhere. So Austin Reeves has proven in these short amount of games that he's capable of being an all-star caliber player, carrying a team. You try to make some moves. And let him grow. You know what I'm saying? He'll be in a whole new environment. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Trae Young is there and everything, but now you have another scorer. You said he would be a star in Atlanta if he was traded. Yeah, exactly. I think he'll be an all-star. He gets to do what he wants. Now he ain't got to worry about Luka, because Luka is going to take shots from him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's Luka's team. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that really Austin Reeves really wants. I don't know. He hasn't came out and said it, but I don't think he wants to be second fiddle. I don't think he wants to be second fiddle. I think he wants that attention on him. And I like that. I like the fact that he's not afraid to take the shot at the end of the game. I like the fact that he's not ducking no type of smoke. You gotta like that. To be able to step in, and this is gonna hurt some people's feelings. LeBron would never do the clutch stuff that Austin Reeves is doing, man. That never was in LeBron's forte like that. Yeah, he's made a few clutch plays, but to want the ball and hoist it up and not just thinking, oh yeah, the right basketball play all the time and stuff like that, but just stepping up and saying, hey, look, I'm gonna hit the jumper. I'm gonna shoot the shot. Miss or make it, oh well, we'll live with the results. I'll take the heat. I'll take the criticism. I'll take the backlash. You know what I'm saying? I'll put the team on my back, whatever the case is. Austin Reeves was able to do that. instead of out here finger pointing on this guy and all this other stuff. Honestly, he has leadership capabilities. Austin Reeves does. Now we haven't been behind the scenes to really see him getting vocal and stuff like that. Of course, he probably just playing his position and all that other stuff, you know what I'm saying? But the way that he's balling, man, and him putting up 51, I mean, man, that woke a lot of people up. That woke a lot of people up, man. So, yeah, man, I just wanted to talk about those things, man. Like I said, this NBA season, man, is starting out with a bang. I'm loving it. There's a lot of people that haven't been this excited about basketball in years. You hear me, Kev? You hear me, Cyber TV? There are a lot of people that haven't been excited about basketball in years, man. And they're starting to watch it again. And there's a lot of people that are salty. They're mad. They're mad because LeBron isn't playing and they're dominating the headline. No, it's time to move on. You've had your chance. You had your chance to get 6 rings. You had your chance to get 5 rings. Now, if you do win 5 rings, it won't be because of you. You know what I'm saying? It would be off of the strength of possibly Luka's back. But other than that, it's time to move on. Everything evolves, man. SGA, this is his time right now. Wembanyama, he gonna eventually come into his own. He hadn't even sniffed his prime yet. Greek, Giannis, it's his time now. You've had your chance, man. Move on. What you should be doing, you should be working with Bryce, telling him to get better. You know that Bronny, okay, continue to work with Bronny or whatever, but you know that Bronny's just not ready right now. What you need to do, you need to be in there with Bryce, trying to get him ready. Well, he can't right now because, of course, the college basketball season finna start. But that's what you should have been doing. You should have been working with your son. Nah, you care about your ego. You know what I'm saying? You care about, I'm still that guy at 40 years old, still wearing a do-rag. You know what I'm saying? Nah, come on, man. Them days is over with. They seen enough of you, man. Straight to the point. I'm out.